Okay, well, hello everybody to the training today. It's fantastic that you guys are all on here, and I hope you're going to listen many, many times to this training. We're going to really teach you how to work with, of course, this new system which we are introducing here, how to really build your business on social media. Now, I don't have to tell you, you know it all yourself, that of course through this last few months of challenges of really not being able to be out there doing meetings, meeting people, and this is not even the end, we have to think of different forms of building this business. So myself, I'm always adapting to new ideas, to new opportunities. I never judge, of course, and look into or just fixed with the old ways of doing business. So I'm also always looking for new avenues, really building this business. And I have been working now with this strategy really the last half year. So I want to really introduce you to this strategy so that you are becoming successful building and using this strategy. Now, just for you guys who are going to listen to the recording of that, a little bit about myself. So I, of course, started in the industry of network marketing or leverage sales in 2003, but in corporate world. So I was not a distributor or an affiliate. I was actually working for a large company. In 2007, I started with UtopianGlobal. In 2008 was, of course, the launch. 2007 was the pre-launch with it. And since then, and again, I don't say this to brag, but I have built a seven-figure income. I have been able to retire myself a few times, and I have been able to, of course, get rid of my jobs I did have. And so why do I say that? I say that because obviously I'm a long time in this industry. I have a lot of experience in this industry. I have followed many companies, followed a lot of leaders from different companies, and lots of them are my friends. And I've seen people come, people go, and of course, so this industry, which of course the business model which we're using is just amazing. It's so beautiful because when you don't really have money to start your own business, when you really don't have even time, well, this is actually a business where you have no income potential. It is really up to you what you're going to do with that. Now, there are skills to be learned as in anything. It's clear. You can't become a successful seven-figure earner if you never learned skills, if you never did mistakes, if you never failed, if you never did sacrifice. And I must say, I did a lot of sacrifice, a lot of sacrifice. And yes, I did quit, I did want to quit many times over and over again, but I didn't give up. I persisted. So while this business is a really great opportunity, absolutely amazing, not everybody will succeed. And why? Well, because not everybody is willing to give up or to do the sacrifice, or even willing to plug into the system and willing to do actually what works. So that just before. Now also just quickly to let you know, so we always talk about, of course, with our amazing, great products and services, talk to our family, talk to our friends. And this is fantastic. I do certainly recommend it. Doesn't work for everybody. Didn't work for me. Still to this day, even though having made seven figures, I could not get even my family to buy. My mother, well, I purchased for her, but this is just the way it is. So it will depend on, and it's different for any situation. I built my business of total strangers, meaning total strangers, which the stranger became a friend. So it wasn't like, okay, I talked to that stranger and he joined the business. No, you meet a stranger and you make a friend, right? So I built relationships. That's what I did. And of course, today I have many friends all around the world, which is really fantastic. And it's a very great family. So this just up front. So I basically started this business with, let's face it, zero skills, but with being very hungry for change, with a drive, with a purpose, with a passion, with intention, and with working my butt off. So that is what I did, and this is why I'm here today. And I know that you can do what I can do, because if I could do it, you can do it. Anybody else can do it. So with that, of course, we have developed different tools, and I developed another tool for you guys today, which of course, in order to succeed, you got to use the tools. This is why we do create them. So, and I hope that you're going to enjoy, of course, this presentation and take some things from it and you plug into the system so that we can help you grow this business. So with that, welcome, of course, to the social media prospecting and sharing guide. Let me just go to my next slide here. Now, you are already most of the day on your phone, so why not getting paid for? See, in this guide, we are going to share with you the Utopian Global social media business building system and the insights to how you grow your business while spending quality time with friends and loved ones using the ATM strategy. You see, when I started my business, I was all over the place. I was working super hard. I mean, I hardly slept. I was just doing so many things, which were things, but they were not focused. They were not intentional. And of course, I got sidetracked. And so I was really basically working so hard and not really seeing that big results I should have seen because of the work hours I actually put in. And this is because obviously I didn't do it the way I should have been doing that. And so I want you to, of course, save all that time so that you can, of course, or you don't have to necessarily do all the mistakes I did, and that you have a shorter learning curve. And it doesn't mean that you don't gonna make mistakes. You have to do mistakes, yes, but you shorten the learning curve if you apply that. So let's go up to a few crazy facts, of course, about today's lifestyle screen-based. So the average person spends 11 hours and 6 minutes every day in front of the screen. The social sharing economy rings up to $1 billion a single day, and Nike has more than 110 followers. What I mean by that, people are sharing products and services all day long. Most of them just don't get paid for. You see, we have this whole influencer business, which is now coming out. Well, what are they doing? They're building a brand. And of course, why? Because they want to market a product or service, or many market products and services so that they get paid. That is why they're creating their influencer, being an influencer on Instagram and Facebook and whatsoever. Why? Well, because again, we are not anymore in that world where, of course, people wanted to watch ads. Nobody wants to watch an ad. I mean, that's why Netflix is so highly successful, because there's no ads, right? And you prefer to pay for not seeing ads. So that's why, of course, when you build your own brand, you build your own followers, people are following you. Why? Because they connect with you, because they like you and trust you. And in our business, in this social sharing business, well, this is the same. Not everybody's going to connect with me. Not everybody is going to connect with Evelyn. Not everybody is connect with Sean. But we have many, many testimonies, many different people, and different people connect to different people. And this is the beauty about when you plug into a system, because people, again, identify with different other people. Now, certainly the world has changed, and media, commerce are available 24/7, 365 days, of course, from the palm of your hand. And so now you can actually start making money literally from home. And of course, this is what we really have in our palm of our hands. We have a business, a home-based business, which we can work from anywhere with our phone. In fact, when I launched my business with UtopianGlobal back then, the launch, now not the pre-launch, the official launch, I was actually, believe it or not, in a whirlpool in Turkey in a beautiful spa. Just took my mother to holiday there, and I launched my business literally sitting with my computer. I must have some old pictures in the jacuzzi so why? Because this is what we can do now. They don't need to see me, but I'm on the phone or I'm on a Zoom. They only need to see that, right? And so, but this is the beauty about that, and this is what I wanted to create. I wanted to have travel, financial freedom, and of course being able to run my business from anywhere. So let's get into the training. Of course, marketing versus prospecting. You got to understand, first of all, the difference. Marketing is an excellent way to get people to reach out to you, but of course, this is passive. You're just making people aware of a brand, right? Maybe of a brand you're building. Prospecting, on the other hand, is an active money-making activity that has to be part of our daily method of operation. Both are important. But if you're spending more time marketing than really prospecting, that might be the reason why, because your inbox is not blowing up. What do I mean by that? Let's say I'm out there and I'm going to those new nice places and I do all those videos. I do even, I do live calls. I do whatever, it's just showing people around. I do posts about gold, silver, or whatever I post. That's great. But this is, again, marketing. So I market, I brand myself. But if I don't go ahead and actively on a daily basis, still to this day today, talk to new people, to fresh people, well, I'm not prospecting. And this should be, of course, my main activity. And depending where you are at, depending, of course, how much you have achieved, how much business volume you have, of course, eventually that daily prospecting gets less. So when you start out, most of your time is going to be here in the prospecting. Most of your time has to be in the prospecting. Later on, you start to have a team. Well, there's a little bit more time, of course, with the team. Later on, of course, when the team is growing, well, of course, this time which you are out there prospecting is getting less and less, and you focus more on leadership skills, building and creating leaders, and so on. So this is a normal, natural curve. But if you not at least have replaced, and I'm saying replaced your actual income, if you not have replaced your actual income, you spend most of your time prospecting. Most of your time has to be prospecting. Now, once you replaced your actual income, which you do in your profession, well, then, of course, you can put a little bit more time aside in, of course, with the team, spending more time with the team, and so on. Otherwise, you have to do that on top. You have to crave out this time on top. So this is just some of the realities, and I can go deeper into that. Don't have time right now. So the ATM system, as you see here, of course, starts with what, talking, contacting, of course, people, and then adding them to a group, and then, of course, having chats and then following up and getting them started. So getting, of course, started a new business is usually, obviously, time consuming. It's challenging. It's hard. I tell you, it's hard, especially when you start part-time. Yet in order to make extra money or even a lot of money, it does, again, as I said, require skills, training, time, and much more. In fact, it can actually take up to years until you could make a decent part-time income. But of course, it doesn't have to. But I'm telling you those facts because that's just the way it is. And I know we get invited all the time and they say, well, you can become, you can make whatever 5K or 10K in a few months. Sure, you can. Yeah, I don't say no, that you cannot, but it's going to take a lot. Very, very, very hard, extreme hard work. Probably harder than you ever worked in your whole entire life. So, and this is why we really want to shorten the learning curve as much as possible with the ATM system. That's why, and that is, of course, all without having to do those endless hours I did of home parties, meetings, presentations, three-way calls. I mean, boy, I don't know how many home meetings I had done in my life, how many home parties, how many three-way calls. I really don't know. I mean, I have driven to home parties, believe it or not, to Belgium from my place, Wiesbaden, Germany. That's a 3 hours drive to go for a home meeting and then only to drive back at 3 a.m. in the morning to be here at 6 a.m. in the morning. Yes, this was my life, and this was each and every weekend. Each and every weekend I would do that, sometimes even during the week. Why? Well, because I had a team which is growing there, and I needed to support that team. I needed to be there. I needed to do those home parties. Now, sometimes we had up to 100 people in it. It's great, but this is the sacrifice I had to do. There's no question. I had to be there in order to get these leaders started and of course know how to build the business. So let's go here further with what we do and why this is so great that we don't have to do all that stuff anymore. This is really, really fantastic. So how does the ATM system work? Well, first of all, ATM stands for abbreviation, add, tag, message. And all you have to do is add people to a private Facebook group. And that is, we started to build this group, Make Wealth Real. Tag them into a pinned post or video you want to see them. Message them to find out what they like best. Okay, that's it. So first of all, of course, you make your prospect interested. You add them to that private group. Of course, you ask them, and I have here the scripts for you, if they wish to enter that private group to learn more. And then you tag them, you pin them to of course, a post, a video you want them to review. And then after that, you follow up and you invite them in a group chat with your upline, which could be 2, 3, 4, 5 people. Why? Well, because when you are new, you still don't know how to respond to some of the questions. Is this a pyramid scheme? Is this a Ponzi? Well, this is hard work. Does it work? Do other people doing that? Well, I don't think I have time. Well, just so many questions. You don't know them. You don't know how to answer them. And so you probably will fail. But if you put your upline in and you introduce your upline, they know how to respond. And you can just copy and learn. Simple. So keep it simple. Follow those exactly steps. Use the magic words to attract prospect leads. I have a ton of magic words in there. And you got to rehearse. You got to play. You got to do. I mean, see, it's great if I give you the tools. It's great that you have the scripts. But if you never practice the scripts on actual prospects, it's not going to work. So you got to actually go out there and really actually prospecting. You got to really actually talk with people because you're going to get better with it. Step 2, connect with a lead prospect, build rapport and trust using what we call it the icebreaker and turn it into an active prospect. Then invite your prospect to see the opportunity by having them join our Make Wealth Real Facebook group, follow up and close. And this only works if you did, of course, build rapport first and then plug the newest team member affiliate into our ATM system and duplicate the process. It's simple, very simple. Talk to people, make a friend, or follow up with an old friend. Follow up, I mean, now is the perfect time. Everybody has gone through a massive never be there crisis. So isn't that the great perfect time of all your Facebook friends, all your Facebook followers, just to catch up, reach out to them. Hey, buddy, how are you doing? Haven't talked a long time to you. How are things? I mean, never has been a better time than now. So what we call it sort of the ATM 5553 prospecting rule or prospecting formula is prospecting, of course, is an income producing activity. And it should be your daily method of operation. If you don't do that and you attend all the trainings, you come all to the Zooms, you come all to the webinar, great, but it's not going to make you money. So in simple terms, of course, you identify and connect with people who have the potential to become your customers and recruits. That's it. Now, you don't know who's going to be that. You don't know. If you don't ask, you don't know. You cannot know. So the question is really how many friends and followers you have and to how many of them have you spoken in the last 6 months? I tell you, I have a lot of people on my Facebook, and I can tell you I have not spoken to all of them. It's too many. I haven't. I mean, so we have a daily method of operation, which if you just do that in a 1 hour a day, you can build your business. 1 hour a day, you literally can build your business. Now, of course, later on with leadership skills, training, coaching, etc., of course, it's going to be more. Now, I don't build my business in 1 hour a day. I have built a business. I'm still building a business. But of course, this is a full-time job for me. So as of course, more money you make eventually, as of course, you got to pour into your people because we can't take things for granted. I can't take each of you who's on the call for granted. So I have to, of course, give my time. I have to support you. I have to help you, because again, this is what this is about. You know, if you have help enough people to get what they want, you get what you want. But that doesn't mean that, let's say, you, the newest person, so you plug into the system, I give you the tools, I show you what to do, and you just don't then do it. And so I don't have then anything to coach you on. I don't have anything to teach you on. If you come and reach out to me, well, Claudia, I haven't got anybody. Well, how many people did you talk to? Well, what did you say? Did you open? Well, you didn't add me in any chat. Well, you know, I haven't had anybody on the call. You were putting me on the call, of course, back at the freeway call times. Then I don't know what to coach you on. So we give you the guides, we give you the tools, but you got to apply, right? So going, of course, back into our formula, step one is, again, friend up or reconnect with at least 5 people a day. That's the rule. Now, a leader, if you really want to smash it, if you want to smash it, and you really have an urgency, you really, I don't know, because you really need to replace your income because you maybe know your company is closing in a half year from now. I mean, I don't know. I mean, there's lots of things going on right now. You got to talk to at least 10 people a day. But most people start this business part-time, and so that's why they 5-5-3. But again, like if you, and that's what I did. Of course, I didn't talk to 5 people a day. I talked to 20 people a day. I didn't even talk to 10 people a day, right? But a leader talks to 10 people a day. But let's go with the 5-by-5-3 number here. Friend up and reconnect with at least 5 new people a day, or old people a day, which you haven't talked a long time. Ask the question to 5 people a day. Tell you what this question is. And ATM, add tag message, 3 people a day. Add tag message, 3 people a day. Implement a strategy, right, for at least 30 days. If you start this business, implement that strategy for at least 30 days. Don't come to me and say, well, I haven't made any sale yet. Well, I haven't had any customer. Well, I haven't. No. You got to at least do this strategy 30 days, because I don't know how good you are. I don't know what you say. I don't know what kind of friends you have. I don't know what kind of trust you have with them. I don't know that. So sometimes it does take a little bit longer. Remember, when I started this business, none of my friends would come on board. None, not one. So I had to make new friends, right? Just the way it is. So how do you build your business in 1 hour? We call it a power hour a day, using the ATM system 5-5-3 prospecting formula. Well, the power hour, that is where you have totally undivided attention, focus. You switch off everything. You just have your computer or your device. If you don't have a computer, you do it on your phone or you do it on your iPad or whatsoever. That's fine. You switch off your home phone. You put your dog out of your room, your cat out of your room, your kids out of your room, if you can, of course. And you really have to make that sacrifice. Talk to your husband, talk to your spouse, and say, look, I'm not going to be disturbed now. You know, I'm doing this for us. And this is why it's good always to talk with your spouse, with your husband, that you are working on that. And they have to give you that opportunity to give it a shot at least. And so you spend 1 hour focused, intentional, not being interrupted. That means if you get a chat message and you do it on the computer, you don't look at this chat message. You just don't. You don't answer anything. You don't do nothing. If you have a team call, a team member asking a question, no, you do not answer that question in this moment, because this moment is the moment of you where you build your business. Okay, so 15 minutes blocks. You will need a timer. You will need to have a stopwatch. That's what you're going to need. And you build this in 15 minutes block. 15 minutes, you reach out to 5 or 10 new conversations and add them to your network. Okay. 15 minutes, you prospect and you ask open questions. 15 minutes, you do follow-ups. In 15 minutes, you ask for referrals. Because remember, somebody who said no to us, somebody who said no, he's not interested, that is totally fine. No problem. Who do you know that maybe is? Who do you know that would like to have a side income? Who do you know that you think could need a savings plan? Who do you know that could need something which would get rid of his debt? So we ask for referrals. Now, I said in the beginning, we're starting off with network marketing in corporate in 2003. Yes, for corporate. But I had actually built a direct sales team when I was living in Spain. I lived 4 years in Spain. This was in 99 to 2003. And didn't really speak Spanish. Not good, at least at the beginning. Didn't know nobody. Moved to a town where 0 tourists back in the day, Zaragoza, 0. And I read an ad. And this ad was looking for people who wanted to, of course, sell a product. And this was actually a German company selling kitchenware. And, I had nothing to do. I basically lived in Spain. I moved to Spain, and with my ex-boyfriend, he worked for General Motors, and I met him in Germany. So we lived here together in Germany, but then he had to go back. I didn't have a job or nothing like that, but I needed to do something. And so I answered that ad, went there, and I remember very vividly to this day, the lady, Carmen Nogales, great friend of mine now. She had a tough single mother, just got the second son born. Unfortunately, her husband left her. The son had huge problems, need to be operated on his spine. Lots of things going on. She had no income, and she had started this direct sales business. Very, very tough lady, probably the toughest lady I've met in my life, still to this day. And she basically helped me to get started in direct sales. Didn't know anybody, didn't speak the language. In my first month, I made it to the regional top salesperson in that region. How did I do that? Well, I did all the crazy stuff. I knocked on doors, I made a friend, I smiled, and I asked them, popped the question, would you be interested? I have this great kitchenware here, and it's going to save you so many years of course, in comparison using other kitchenware, etc., etc. So anyway, I really made. It was amazing, but because she taught me how, okay, it doesn't matter, you don't speak the language and you don't know anybody. You can meet a friend and you can make a friend. You can meet a friend, you can make a friend. And if you just do this DMO, this daily method of operation. Now, it wasn't network marketing, it was direct sales. It just was one level down. But I really got rid of my problems there with, of course, because I'm an introvert, because I'm not a salesperson. I'm an introvert, totally introvert. I would never go to a stranger, but she helped me go over that. So if I could, you can. And this is what just I'm saying. But you got to do income producing activities. Without that, forget it. It's not gonna work. And this is what we do in this Power Hour. Now, inviting your prospects, you say, well, what can I say? Well, of course, there's always an anxiety before talking to prospects. See, in the old days, what we did is we would actually have the team people coming at home at my house, or I was going at their houses, and we would invite all the team people. For example, it was 9 a.m. On a Monday morning. Of course, if people were able this time or another time in the evenings, and we would do sessions. So everybody would bring his list, everybody of contacts, and then we would do phone calls. We would do a rehearse. I do a phone call, show them how to do it, they do a phone call. I do a phone call, they do a phone call. And this is what we do. We just came for 1 hour, sometimes even 2 hours, just to do what? Phone calls, reaching out to people, and seeing if we could arrange a meeting that we could do a home presentation. That's it. That's what we do. We train the team how to do that. Now, today, of course, this is different. We can do everything online, and you can do everything for literally texting. Isn't that beautiful? You can, or of course, leaving voice messages, which I love as well, because it saves you so much time. You can do so many more voice messages than, of course, typing, right? So now the question is, of course, should you build a report first or go straight to the point? Again, it depends on each situation, because each prospect is going to be different. There's just no one fit approach for all. And it would be good to build report on purpose, of course. First, however, before you go ahead, ask yourself this: who are you talking to? Is it a complete stranger? Is it a follower? Is it a friend? And you will, of course, talk differently to each of them, right? So again, when was the last time you did reach out? Was it longer than 6 months? And if longer, then of course you need to catch up, do a little quick chit chat, etc. Again, we are in the people business, and people don't care how much you know until, of course, they know how much you do care. And of course, the expert tip here: don't spend too much time chit chatting, because you have targets you need to reach. You have 1 hour. You need have targets you need to reach. And depending, of course, on the conversation, you then can decide to ask the questions or not. Now, should you lead with the product or the opportunity? Again, it totally depends. Now, of course, we believe leading with the product has been proven to be more, of course, duplicatable. In fact, most of my people, 80% or even more, they are just customers. That's absolutely great. So again, it depends, okay? But it's easier customers because it's more duplicatable and easier for the average person to actually create results. Why? Because there are simply more people in the world that are open to products, especially when they're on the wealth building area versus the opportunity. Yes. However, of course, you should consider this: are you talking to an entrepreneur who has already experience in owning business? And I tell you what, the busiest people, the entrepreneurs, they are the most likely to actually succeed. They are the most likely to take this business serious. They may only have 1 hour a day, half hour a day, 15 minutes a day, but they are the most likely, because they know they get paid when they earn a commission. They know they're not employed for a company where, sometimes you have lots of employees, they are lazy sitting in the company and not really doing much, but they're anyway getting paid, especially government workers. Again, not against government workers, but I know how Germany is here, and I see how things are. Now, there's great people there, but there's also other people, who like to get paid and not really doing the sacrifice for it. So you got to define, of course, there or consider, of course, that are you talking to an entrepreneur who's already experienced or owning a business? Then, of course, our guess is that he or she would be more open and has actually an entrepreneurial mindset. And then, of course, you should consider what excites you yourself the most. And the reality is, people feel if you're genuinely excited about something, that of course is contagious. It actually affects the other person. So always share what makes you feel happy. You see, for me, when I started this business, it was, gosh, what I had learned about gold and silver. I wanted to share it with everybody. Why? Well, because, I know how people are struggling. I know people have it hard there. And I know they don't understand gold and silver. They think their money, their currency they're earning is going to eventually make them rich or whatever. They need to work harder or whatever, but they don't really understand that it's losing value. So I was so excited about that. And of course I wanted to have everybody know that I must share it with all my friends, all my family, even though they didn't buy to this day. But I had to share it, just the way it is. So, and of course, we're going to give you some real life examples here. Now, of course, I have prepared in this guide a lot of scripts for you. You could adapt a script which actually fits your personality, right? So we give you suggestions. You try. So this is what you do. And don't get into, like, if they say no to you, don't get into, what if the no. It doesn't matter. Look, there's 8 billion people out there, right? 8 billion. It doesn't matter if they say no. It really doesn't matter. So be unattached. So detach yourself from the outcome. They're detached because you cannot decide. You don't know how the people ticks. If it's 12 o'clock at this time, they want to get started, you are the right time. If not, you don't know that. You don't. All what you can do is you can share a product, you can share an opportunity. That's all what you can do. But really don't get emotionally involved if they say no to you. Don't get emotionally involved if they're negative about it. Don't. Just don't. It will save you a lot. Now, I get it. It hurts. I mean, totally. When people say, and you thought really that person's going to get started and you did so much effort, it hurts. But again, detach yourself from it. Detach yourself from it, because otherwise you'll be stuck and you will not go to the next person. And of course, what will happen then? You will just stop and quit. Again, I'll make the script your own, be super excited, because your face tells the energy. I mean, I'm excited. And this is many, many years after. Why am I excited? Because I really believe in what we are doing. I really see how it's helping people. You see? This is so key. So be super excited. Your face will tell, and energy is contagious. It's better ignorance on fire than knowledge of ice. This is a saying, of course. And when you're talking to prospects, share your story. If you don't have a story, take somebody else's story. You see, when I did start this business, I had no story to share. I had no own story. I shared other people's story. I shared Philip Schutz's story, his vision, his purpose, why he started this company. Bill's story I shared. That's what I did. And eventually I built my own story. Yes. So that's what I did. I remember where in the early days I had a guy, Michael Horias, out of Czechoslovakia. And his grandmother had saved all her life until he gets 18 years of age currency. Well, guess what? Michael was 18 years of age. Ciao, ciao, currency didn't exist anymore. So all her life, she had struggled to set up a great foundation for her grandson. The money was gone because they didn't understand money. Now, that's a story. That's a story. It really exists. This is what I actually did share. And again, I always say, I'm through my third currency. I believe it's not going to be my last. East German money, German mark, euro, and I don't think the euro will exist for a long time. Real life stories. And of course, then tell them why you're so excited. Understand people join people, they don't join companies. They don't join UtopianGlobal. They join you, okay? And use audio recorder if you can. Use audio recorder because the impact, the tone of voice, the tonality will be just so much better. Yes, you can use, of course, no worries, just chatting, but of course the intentional experience is so much better on the audio. So let's go into the scripts, customer script. So first of all, this is, again, you got to make it then your own. It's just examples, and we have tons of examples. Let's say, hey, John, how are things? How have you been? I was thinking of you, with all the things going on right now. And then you just wait until they respond. And again, if you are doing that, your 15 minutes where you just reach out, where you just connect, you don't need to respond to those people straight away. You don't. You do. Your target is 5 people or 10 people. You connect. You just say things like that. So that's it. And you have them in your 15 minutes block. You can do at least 5 or 10 people. Yes, you can even do more depending. That's it. Now you have your other 15 minutes block, of course, when you then actually, talk more into detail. But again, like sometimes I'm not getting back all the time straight away. No, I don't. Because, I have my target to reach, which is so many people, so many new conversations to start. But okay, then of course, eventually when they're coming back, of course, you connect, catch up, compliment, you ask, you pop the question, as we say. So let's say, it's coming back to you. Yeah, how have you been, Claudia? Things are so here, or well, this isn't that. Well, yes, it's truly crazy what's going on right now. Blah blah. Right? You said, well, John, you know how things are getting so expensive nowadays, and people having a hard time to put money aside for emergency or even to save. So I wanted to run a quick idea by you. Would it be okay? For example, you could even add to it. And yes, he says yes and no. Well, you see, I just joined a Facebook community that's focused on financial health and well-being, and I'm getting a lot out of it. And I thought some of my friends would enjoy it actually too. Since I'm following the strategies, I am improving the well-being of my finances. I'm already have been able to build a nest egg, cut down my debt, pay out my outstanding bills. You got to then, of course, say what you have been doing. Take my family to an extra holiday from my savings, save extra money I would never been able to save earlier on. Some of my friends have been able to pay the complete school tuition. You tell stories and let me know if you'd like to check it out, and I add you to this group too. If not, no worries. Love seeing you on here. That's it. It's simple. It's not difficult. It's not offensive. We're not selling anything. It's very simple, isn't it? And again, don't worry, you get that. You get those scripts. Now, another script. Before that other script. So your friend now, of course, comes back. What's the products? What's the community? Or they may even say, well, yeah, sure, add me. Why not? And then you simply add them to the Facebook group. You tag them in the announcement post or in a video. You want to see them, and you send them the following private message. Hey, John, I added you to the Make Wealth Real Facebook community. Now, in order for you to see the content, you have to accept the invite. Let me know once you are in, so I can tag you in a couple of videos that explain more about the product and the way to build and grow your wealth. I started this plan to be able not to only have a savings plan, but to build and grow and compound wealth, so I can retire earlier, and I'm blown away by the results I'm getting. Also, if you are open to earning an extra income by sharing results like I am, let me know, and I can get you that info as well. So very simple, not offensive. Now, of course, you can say something else then, so I can retire early. You can say, so I can make some extra income, so I can take my family to an extra holiday, so I can, just have a little bit more money aside, so I can, whatever comes to you. This is just examples. And again, do not get into the Q&A before they have watched videos. Really don't. Save yourself time and energy. Simple tag them in the post where they can find the information they are looking for. You can always leverage your upline leaders, and I'm going to show you that, to help you get questions answered and maybe even talk to your customers or your prospects. Script number 2. Hey, John, how are things? How have you been? I've been thinking of you with all the things going on right now in the world. Again, you wait for the response, same deal. And then, well, you know how it's almost impossible to save now money with this cost of living going so high. Well, I just want to join the Facebook community that's focused on building, protecting, growing wealth, and I'm getting loud out of it. Same style. I thought some of my friends would enjoy it too. Since I'm following the strategies, I'm improving my well-being and my finances, I already have been able to build a nest egg, cut down my debt, paying. Same deal, take my family extra holiday, save extra money. Some of my friends have been able to pay the complete school tuition. Let me know if you like to check it out, and I add you too. No worries, we love you seeing here. So just a little bit different written, but very simple, very similar structure. Let me go then, of course, next, the ATM business script. Hey, John, how are things? How have you been? Same deal here. Same deal, connect, catch up, compliment, ask the question. Well, John, you know how, prices have really been increased lately since the virus, and that's why most people that having an extra income would be actually useful. Well, I just joined a Facebook community that's focused on building, protecting, and growing wealth, and I'm getting a lot out of it. I thought some of my friends might enjoy this too. Since I'm following their strategies, I'm improving the well-being of my finances, and I already have been able to build up a nest egg, cut down my debt, blah, 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 yeah? Save extra money I would have never been able to do earlier on. Some of my friends have been able to pay their complete school tuition. This is just examples. You can say something else. Let me know if you like to check it out, and I add you to. If not, no worries. Love seeing you on here. Simple story all along the way. Now, just the closing is a little bit different, or just the follow-up is a little bit different. So your friends, of course, then comes back to you, and you say, of course, the same here. I added you to the Make Wealth Real Facebook community in order for you to see the content, and so on. Same. Now, here is where you say it a little bit different. You know, John, the beauty is all you have to do is add people to the exact same group I'm adding you to. And I know you said you were going to look at videos tonight, so I'm going to follow up with you tomorrow. I'm also going to introduce you to some of the other individuals we work with as well, and you edify your leadership. So just a little bit different because you approach them for opportunity. Now, you're going to set up a Facebook Messenger chat. Okay, so you're setting up the Facebook Messenger chat. You know that they have been watching the videos because you're now doing the follow-up. And again, say, hey, John, I just wanted to follow up with you to see if you got a chance to check out the group and watch any of the videos. I also like you to introduce to a few individuals we work with. Again, you edify your leaders, you introduce everyone. Hey, Steve, Susan, Sandra, meet John, your prospect. You don't say your prospect, but meet John. He's a great friend of mine, or, you know, he's a long-term friend of mine, or I know him since a long time. We have been following each other on Facebook, or whatever, you know, however you met this person you're talking to. And he's looking at a potentially start a business leveraging Facebook. That's it. That's how you say it. Simple. He can say no or yes, of course. And then we have the closing, of course. Are you ready to master that? Well, see, your job is not to recruit every person you come across. You're interviewing people to identify individuals who would be good members or fit in your team. Remember, you have to work with those people you actually enroll for business. Let's get into those 4 favorite closing questions. Well, let's say, John, on what did you like most? What you saw? What is what you like best? Most or best? Always fit, always works. Well, tell me more about why did you like that best? If they come back to you, well, you know, I really like that aspect on store. Well, what exactly did you like about that best? Because you want to get more answers. You want to see, well, what is it? Or on the business opportunity, right? So while you have this conversation, and of course your upline is helping you, well, on a scale of 1 to 10, you know, 10 being you're ready to get started now and buy the top pack. Well, 1 being just a customer, where are you? Pop the question, where are you? Are you coachable? Number 4, well, great. Let's get you started. Can I tell you what info you need to get started first? Yeah, sure. And then, of course, you give them some info how to get started. So asking, are you on a scale of 1 to 10 is very simple, straightforward, and it gives you a pretty good clue what the prospect is thinking about specifically. So, of course, but we'll have tons and tons of closing in here. And I don't have time for that because we are already on the hour. So prospects are pre-sold. They want what we have to offer. So let's look at what do they want. More holidays, more money, a way to make their car payments, an extra paycheck to work out of their home, good, healthy, longer living, pay off their debts, pay off their student loan, lower utility bills, recognition for their efforts. I mean, it's just so many things that people want. We have all of that. We offer all of that, right? So that's why when people say, well, I don't know if this person is interested, I don't think. No, look at what we have. Look at what we offer. We offer all of that. And I can just add on it another 100 things which we do offer. You see? Not everybody is joining because of the gold or silver. Not everybody is joining because of the store. Not everybody is joining because of UtopianGlobal, because of you. You know, maybe because of the message you gave them, they saw, wow, if this person Claudia talked about could create this income, maybe I can create it. Oh, wow, if this person could actually have a business, a side business on their phone, maybe I can have that. So there's so many different things there. And understand, well, when people, you know, reject us or don't come back to us or don't, because we have done things or tried different approaches before, it's simply because of attention. They don't hear us. We lose it. We lose their attention in their minds. They drift to something else already because they have busy lives. Messages, notifications, the television, everything goes in their way. So even if our prospects focus and listen to our message, they can still block our great message because they are negative programmed. They have negative filters in their mind. And so we got to learn what are those filters and how can we speak over these filters, right? And let me just end here with the tale of two networkers. Two networkers connecting with people through social media, both joined early the year. They set their goals and created a beautiful vision board on their walls. Both they have their affirmations and all the stuff, and they, it's a little bit X-rated, sing the company song. They believe in UtopianGlobal with all their hearts. And on their individual journeys of connecting with people in social media, they meet a stranger. They meet both the same stranger. One networker added a new team member to the team, and the other talked to the same stranger, but of course left empty-handed. What's the difference? Everything was the same except the words they said. So the first networker used proven magic words. The stranger listened and connected with the message and then joined. The second networker used unproven, ordinary words and came second place. And unfortunately, the second networker didn't know these proven words actually existed. And his untrained words bounced off the stranger's forehead, never entering really the prospect's brain. And even the best message is useless if we don't have our prospect's attention. So we have a choice. We can continue to prospect on the internet, waste hours by leads, come in second place. And unfortunately, UtopianGlobal doesn't pay you for being in second place. Or we can learn to use magic words. And magic words phrases help us bypass our prospect filters, our barriers, and to our message. And and what are those filters? Of course, the too good to be true filter, the salesman alarm. What's the catch? Negativity, survival program, skepticism, and general biases. So we got to learn these magic words. I have listed 11 of them. I'm surely, as I add to this guide with 11 more, I have some good news and bad news. I just found out, are you okay with? I'm just curious. Well, you know how. Economy is right now bad. It's on the floor. Most people, you know how most people, well, there are two types of people in the world. Well, guess what? Well, this may be your cup of tea or not. Well, as you probably know, the world has been just in a lockdown and a lot of people are struggling. Well, would it be okay if magic words, totally magic words. So with that, I end this training. Now you're going to get this guide with a lot of examples. I mean, tons of examples. Don't get overwhelmed. What you got to do is you got to do the power hour and you got to just go out there and just start doing. Just start doing. Remember, be detached from the outcome. Just start doing anyhow. And you will get better. You will get better. You will get better. This is the way it is. But if you never stop, you never can get better. So with that, thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to upload this training, of course, on our YouTube channel. That you can revise this training and you all will have that guide to work with and to work with the newest person. So thank you so much for it.